Hello there, and welcome to episode 97 here at CUZZO-OP, and happy May 4th. I'm one of the hosts here at CUZZO-OP, Arrow, also known as Willie, and as usual, we have the other host here at CUZZO-OP, my cousin.
IV, which happens to be 4. May 4th be... Hey, stop playing with me. It's Isaiah. What's up? How y'all popping? How y'all doing? How y'all living? It's yet another Star Wars month with us here at CUZZO-OP.
Yes, sir, and we are here to discuss everything from the most recent Star Wars Celebration 2025, that was over in Japan. We're here to just talk about some of the news, share about some of the things we're excited about, and some of the concerns we may or may not have with Star Wars. We did an episode similar to this recently for Marvel, but we're luckily for Star Wars, we have a little bit more than just looking forward to our thoughts. You know, we have an actual celebration that occurred that gave us new information, so we're here to just talk about it. Star Wars, my favorite universe in entertainment. My lights are off right now, but you know, in other episodes, you'd be able to see a wall of posters. I could probably actually make it a little bit lighter. Star Wars, you see all those Star Wars. I got lightsabers on deck. Star Wars. I got cups on deck. Star Wars. I love Star Wars. And IV, you with Star Wars? How are you with Star Wars?
Yo, Star Wars is the best universe ever. Easy. When you talk about the way it's threaded, the way it rhymes. Shout out to the man himself. It's fire. I have fallen more in love with this since we began this journey of CUZZO-OP, which was insane that it's been 2 years. But yeah, all I'm saying is Star Wars is goated. I slept on it, but I always understood why it was great. But I've been trying to catch up on what I missed. And I'm a huge advocate for people engaging in Star Wars, especially when people think it's just this like fantasy thing that's like silly. It's not. It's very serious. I love the crap out of it. So that's my feel.
Yep. Star Wars, it's got its hold over society, even if people don't want to admit it because they're not happy with Star Wars and the direction it's in and all that other stuff. Fortnite, the game we've discussed is the greatest game of all time, has some Star Wars things going on right now that we could talk about, but I just want to run through a list of things that was discussed at Star Wars Celebration and kind of talk about our feelings on it. Now, how much do you know about Star Wars Celebration and what happened over there?
I know absolutely nothing. I only found out one piece of news, which we'll touch on, but I'm kind of coming as the perspective of maybe a viewer that has no idea about it. That's what I've got going on. So I'm excited to offer that part of a perspective to the conversation.
Okay, cool. So what I'm hearing is I got pictures ready for you to just quickly see. So I want to start off, we're going to go out of order of how it was announced, just because the website that I'm looking at has it in a particular order, and I want to keep things organized. And so Ahsoka Season 2 had a panel. What were your thoughts on Ahsoka Season 1?
Ahsoka Season 1 is one of them ones, and we all know it. It's the what's the word? Like nicknamed additional season of Star Wars Rebels in a live action format. I mean, it has the astonishing comeback of Hayden as Anakin in a way that was very emotional for those who were invested in the Clone Wars. Yeah, bro, I think Ahsoka was a really great season, great show, great actors. We have our episode on it. If you want to go and listen to it, I recommend you go back. You can hear my thoughts. But as I sit now, months removed, a year removed, it's one of those ones that, like, when it comes to my journey as a Star Wars fan, it helped to crystallize how much I really do love this show. And it's partially because I watched Rebels before I saw it. So just my journey. What about you?
I enjoyed Ahsoka a lot. It has its highs and lows, of course, but I had a really fun time with it. I think there are things about it that worked incredibly well, and there are things about it that can be improved upon. Dave Filoni is a hot topic right now in the fandom. Is he good for Star Wars? Does he have its best interests at heart, or is he playing fanfic with his toys? As George Lucas's apprentice, he's a manifestation of everything bad about George Lucas, and we don't want that anymore. Yeah, we love him and we want to keep him forever. And I think there's truth in all of those kind of ideas. But if there's one thing that I have to give for Dave Filoni is I feel like he does write with heart. And you can see it there. And so Ahsoka's panel at Star Wars Celebration had some big announcements behind the scenes and certain things like that. One of the highlights of season 1 was Ray Stevenson as Baylan Skoll, and we know that Ray Stevenson unfortunately passed away before the first season premiered. Disney has a track record with not knowing how to handle the passing of actors properly. What are they going to do? Are they going to write him out entirely and not finish his story? Or are they going to pull through and do something? And they announced a few months ago that he would be recasted. I don't know if you knew about that recasting announcement or not.
Yeah, the Hound.
Yeah, the Hound from Game of Thrones. Rory McCann, or McCann, and they actually shared the first look at what he looks like in the role of Baylan Skoll. So, my opinion, as I send this over to you, IV, I think he looks good. Obviously, the performance is what's going to matter the most to me. If he can match the Hound, you hear me? Baylan's demeanor, kind of this like very calm but yet antagonistic force. But in terms of how he looks, I mean, he looks like a grizzled old vet. And so they, the pictures, I feel like they could have taken the hoods off, but I think he looks good, and I need to see the performance before I have more of an opinion. But I'm happy to hear that they kind of said he is there to respect Rey, and the family believes that he's going to do great, and he wants to really honor Rey with his performance. And sure, that could just be a bunch of hoopla. I need to say this because he passed away, but I actually believe I've seen him speak a few times, and I feel like this seems very genuine. So, yeah, what do you think about what you're seeing or thoughts on this?
I think it looks great. I mean, you see him in the Hound as the Hound, and he was Megatron in this most recent Transformers animated film. I think it was the Spark of Ray of something of Spark. I can't remember what it was called.
You're not talking about the one that came out last year, though, right?
No, I think it was like it was called Earth Spark. Maybe I'm confusing the titles, but maybe it's an animated show. It might be a show instead of a movie. But regardless, is that he's played an antagonist before, and his voice is booming enough to do it. And I think that his ability to speak with authority is going to carry this character and make its own mark. Because Ray Stevenson had this, he had this regality to him. He kind of came off royal, and his. I feel like what would be really cool here is if instead of trying to like capture that exact thing, instead he's just so mighty of a force like the Hound that it's like we have no choice but to respect him. I think that's a good casting choice. So shout out to the casting director, and I'm excited to see what comes from it.
Yeah, when it comes to recastings in Star Wars, I think depending on how big or small the character is and how the recast works, like if you're jumping 20 years before, you have more room to kind of do your own thing. For here, I hope he takes it into his own role, but keeps the spirit of what made Baylan work alive. That's what's most important to me. And so I hope that he does lean into some of his Ray Stevenson, but also kind of takes control and, wherever the character may be going, make that his own as well. But I think I'm excited to see what they do with him, and I'm happy that Baylan's story doesn't get to end, and that Rey's legacy as a part of this character and franchise gets to live on, because I don't think that should have stopped with his death. Also for Ahsoka, it was confirmed that another actor will officially be reprising their role in season 2, and it's kind of a big one, but the fact that they announced it makes me incredibly excited that Hayden Christensen will officially be returning as Anakin Skywalker in season 2. It was a big surprise, not surprise in season 1, but here, for them to just kind of come out and just say right away, yeah, he'll be in our season 2, not only gives me that idea of, wow, they're going to actually do something huge with him, but maybe we'll get some other surprises. And I'm putting all my hopes and dreams in Ahsoka season 2 or Ahsoka the show that we'll see Ewan McGregor as General Kenobi. But that's just me wanting some fan service. That they did it with Hayden, they could do it with Ewan and then, make sense of it. So how do you feel about Hayden Christensen coming back for Ahsoka?
Love it. Like you said, there's something that they can continue to show us about Anakin in a live action sense that's redemptive, considering the notions that the prequels had. And I think that he touched on that with Ahsoka season 1. Why not continue to touch on it in season 2 and let him do what he got to do? Y'all already saw the way he swung that lightsaber. What are we talking about? Anyways,
Yeah. And of course, they confirmed Sabine, Ezra, Hera, Chopper will all be back, but they also officially confirmed that Zeb will also be playing a role in Ahsoka Season 2, finally, after only being showcased in Mando Season 3. And that's fun to hear.
Shout out to Zeb.
Admiral Akbar will also be returning from Empire, Last Jedi, and all that in this show, and will play a big part and face off against Grand Admiral Thrawn. There will be an incredibly adorable Lothcat kittens, and according to Dave Filoni, X-Wings, A-Wings, and a bunch of other wings that he can't tell us about. So it sounds like they're going big for Ahsoka Season 2, and I am excited for it.
They deserve it. Was it episode 5 or episode 6 when they did the flashback scenes? Was that episode 5 or
5.
episode 6? Episode 5 deserved that right there, budget wise. There's no reason for you not to pump tons of money into season 2 of this. Like, they deserve it. We loved it. Let them do it. Let them stay in that pocket. I'm excited.
Yeah. Now, to stay with the timeline, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie will be headed to theaters May 22nd, 2026. It's the first movie releasing on the big screen since The Rise of Skywalker in 2019. And, I know that they played a trailer for people over there to watch, and it has apparently what some are calling a Daredevil-like sequence with Mando performing an action sequence down a hallway. Grogu's there doing Grogu stuff. Apparently he was swimming in the trailer. Something that I don't know if you know about or not, Jeremy Allen White is going to be in this movie.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. Does it say who he's playing?
Yes, it does. Now, he won't be looking like Jeremy Allen White. He's actually playing an alien, a character that we've seen before in Star Wars in one project, the Clone Wars movie. The little baby Jabba the Hutt that Ahsoka and Anakin rescue? Yeah. Apparently, he's playing Rada the Hutt. He's not going to be a fat Jabba creature, but they have muscular ones. And apparently he's going to be a gladiator, but he's playing that character. So Jeremy Allen White is coming to Star Wars to play a Hutt.
He's about to be on his Austin Butler Dune 2 type timing.
It's interesting. It certainly is. And we know that Zeb is also going to be in that movie. What are your thoughts on The Mandalorian and Grogu being a film instead of like a season 4 type thing? And what are you hoping that this can bring to the movie landscape of Star Wars that they maybe weren't able to do on Disney Plus?
Who's directing this film?
Jon Favreau, I believe.
I see it. I see him listed as executive producer. I don't see him listed as director. But at the end of the day, he executively produced and directed Iron Man, right? So like when we look at the idea of like what he's able to do on the big screen versus what he's able to do on TV, it's not like we have to worry about there not being synergy and the story of the character being kept in the forefront. He's really good at that. So I'm not hopeless in that regard. What I do have a little bit of with is, Mando stands on principles that are best depicted in the TV realm. So I think what I would like from this is what feels like one really, or maybe two, like some episodes 6 and 7, or is it 5 and 6 of the Book of Boba Fett? I can never remember those two numbers.
5 and 6, maybe 5 and 6.
I want that. Like, give me like an hour and a half to 2 hours of something that feels like that. I don't necessarily want this to come off as cheesy. I want the world around them to play just as much of a role as the two characters in their development. Because what happens is if you do this, then you take us to a world and in a pacing that is jarring, then it won't feel right if you keep building it back in the TV world. And I think that season 3 of Mando teed up an opportunity for something like this very well by making the idea of a Mandalorian a lot more broad. So I'm excited to see a definitive depiction. I just hope that they translate it well. I'm not saying I'm worried. I'm just saying there are some things that we got to be like, oh, we'll see how it goes. But that trailer will tell a lot. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've seen the kind of, pixely version.
Yeah. Did you like the feel, the weighting of it?
Sure, I did. It looks fun. I'm intrigued because the trailer that I saw, it kind of gives the vibe that like 2 hours is best versus 7 or 8 episodes.
That's
So
exactly what I'm talking about. Okay.
that's what I'm seeing. It
145.
feels like
I need like a
right.
145.
Like there's a story that's going to be told, and hopefully they can make it happen, right? But keeping in line with movies, a different Star Wars movie was officially announced. Star Wars Starfighter, coming out May 28th, 2027. Do you know who's directing this?
Sean Levy, baby.
Yes. Do you know who's starring in this?
Ryan Gosling, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, from what I could tell, it's supposed to be after episode 9, right?
Was it 5 or 15 years? It was one of the two.
No, it's 9. It's 9. One X is one behind.
No, but I'm
10.
saying after.
Oh, it's 5. It says 5. It says 5. I think it's 5. So for me, it's like the fact that it's uncharted area and the fact that it's something that can be completely like creative about makes me excited. Sean and I have an interesting relationship with one another. When it comes to his directing, so I hit or miss for that, but I do think that Ryan Gosling selects beautiful movies every time he does a film. He selects it because he knows that his abnormal and abstract parts of himself as an actor can be depicted very well in that and do well in telling the story. So if he's taking a role, I trust Ryan. I mean, I trust Sean, but I trust Ryan.
I think Sean will make the movie he wants to make, which I'm excited to see in the landscape of Star Wars. And the universe and galaxy is so vast that if it's not for me, it's not for me. It may not be needed for the connective story the way maybe something like Deadpool and Wolverine was. But I believe that Sean could have fun in his film. And I'm interested to see how he delivers that. And Ryan Gosling in Star Wars just seems like a fake headline. And so the fact that it's real has me kind of turned up. He
has an eclectic set. His filmography is eclectic, bro. This is somebody who was in The Gray Man, Nice Skies, Place Between the Pines, Drive. Like, he's done so many different types of movies and stuff that I feel like he can really do it all. The only thing we haven't seen him in is like horror, to be honest with you. So I feel like I trust him in this space when it comes to a fantasy sci-fi type vibe. Like, I think that he'll cook this alive.
Right.
Regardless of what the writing look like, he's gonna make it pop.
Right. Now, in terms of seeing new things in Star Wars, do you ever watch Star Wars Visions?
I actually did. I did watch like 1 or 2 of the anthology. You know, I like that stuff, like Love, Death, and Robots. Anthologies are just really cool. So to see the cap be taken off, it kind of reminds me actually of the fact that right now we're starting to get Star Wars adaptations from different video game studios now that the licensing is off and other people can make it. I love that the animated kind of area is also being saturated with new shows and ideas. Fire. So
right.
Yeah, I heard about what you're about to say.
So you heard a lot more than what you thought.
I thought I didn't, but I actually did hear a couple of those things.
So Star Wars Visions Volume 3 is officially coming out, and they have the list of studios up, new studios, old studios. What's cool is that they announced some of the Vision Season 1 stuff are getting continuations in Season 3.
Wow.
They have 3 particular episodes from Season 1 that they are going to be continuing, as well as they announced that on top of continuing one story that was called The Ninth Jedi, it's getting another episode in Season 3, and then next year getting its own limited series to conclude the storylines that they had started in the first 2 episodes. And I think that's pretty awesome that's sick. You know, they're going to continue the Ninth Jedi and Child of Hope storyline in its own show that shows Lucasfilm recognizing that somebody has something special and they want to give them the room to create that in their universe and in their playground. And I love that Star Wars kind of feels like one of the only places where you can actively do that. And it also is just a showcase of how grand and loved Star Wars is. The fact that anime studios from around the world I want to tell a story and I'll take 1 episode to do it.
Yep.
I think it's special.
It's the greatest universe of the world. And on top of that, like, this is something that, you know, it's money stops us from being able to experience cool levels of creativity. but it also could be the thing that enables us to see more of awesome creativity, given more of a stage. And this is a great example of that. We're in a renaissance. We're in a renaissance. We're in a renaissance. We called it a couple years ago. Anyways, keep going.
2 days ago, the greatest game of all time, Fortnite Battle Royale, launched their first, as according to Fortnite's website, their first Star Wars season.
Wow.
And why is Fortnite the greatest game of all time? I'm glad you asked.
I would never ask you that because I don't agree with that, but
there is a television show that released today called Tales from the Underworld.
Yes, sir. Today.
However, if you got on to Fortnite, they were playing the first 2 episodes of Tales from the Underworld since Friday. So Fortnite Battle Royale got the ability to play 2 episodes of a Disney Plus exclusive show 2 days before the show came out.
Yeah, that's heinous. That's crazy.
Disney gave Epic Games $1 billion not to own Epic, not to a small share and create a world within their game.
Yep.
That's motion, bro.
We're in a renaissance.
And so for the next month of May, you can go on to Fortnite and use blasters and fly X-Wings and TIE fighters and use lightsabers and get all the new skins. Palpatine, Darth Jar Jar, Mace Windu, General Grievous, Captain Fat. They're all in the game right now.
They're everywhere right now. I mean,
that's awesome.
I play brawlhalla. Brawlhalla has them all over Brawlhalla.
Grievous.
I bought almost all of them. Grievous is new, but I also have Cat. Not Cat. What's her name?
Ahsoka, bro?
No.
Padme, bro? Asajj Ventress, bro?
Shorty from Rebels, Star Wars, not Rebels, Outlaws.
Isn't it Cat?
Maybe it is
something
Cat.
like that. Something like that.
I got her, and then I got, me and Steve. Shout out Steve. I really shout him out almost every episode, which is kind of crazy. We play duos, ranked duos, and he runs Obi and I run Anakin, and we just be destroying cats.
I got Obi-Wan.
Yeah, you already know the vibes.
Yes, sir.
And I got Ahsoka. Stop playing with me.
I'm sure you did, bro. Andor season 2.
And I got Han Solo. Stop playing with me.
I didn't even know he was in that, bro.
He just got added too with Grievous.
That's crazy, bro. Andor season 2.
And Mando's in there now. And Grogu,
all right, bro.
They created a new... Yo. This is how powerful Star Wars is. Prior to this new May drop, there was never something called a companion, which is almost like a skin character that floats around you while you're attacking and responds to your combos. They created a completely different part of the game called the companion system, just so that Grogu could be next to Mando.
I'm tired of Grogu. I'm tired of him.
I'm just saying, like, that's the influence of Star Wars, bro. Like, it literally is everywhere. It's the real deal.
It's awesome. You done with Brawlhalla talk?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
My bad. I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
Andor season 2 premiered a few weeks ago. They're dropping 3 episodes each week. There's 2 weeks left in Andor, and you still haven't seen it, but it's some really good stuff. Really good. And Diego Luna,
we're gonna have an episode on this show for sure.
Of course. Diego Luna has said that it will change the way we interact with Rogue One and A New Hope and the rest of the saga. And I believe it, because some of Star Wars' strongest characters ever I've seen on Andor, some of the best moments on Star Wars television I've seen on Andor. And Andor, straight up being open and honest, is, I know objectively is a funny word for people, but when I use objectively, I'm trying to just say based on what I see, Andor is objectively Disney Plus's best show. And yeah, I'm excited to have that conversation when the time comes. You got any thoughts?
For me, I haven't seen the show, but I intend to want to do an episode on that after I catch up. That's the next thing. This month, I told myself I would watch Andor because I have to celebrate it being May. So that is the way in which I'm going to celebrate it. I will catch up on that by end of month, so that by the end of the month, we can do an episode on that. I put that on record right now on May 4th. Also, we got to get that Tales of the Underworld for sure. That I got to get off. But the thing I also think is sick is this 3-episode drop weekly. This is a new concept that I think, like, I haven't seen a lot of shows been doing that. It's usually once a week so that they can prolong it and get you to watch more. But it's actually quite intelligent from a celebrating Star Wars idea that they're releasing 3 episodes in one go. That's for the bingers. I like that idea, bro. Yo, they just innovate, bro. Star Wars is innovative. Star Wars is innovative. While y'all others is imitators, they innovators. That's a fact.
So
it's a fact.
If we talking Star Wars and its innovation, I also want to talk about Generation, bro. Young Jedi Adventures is coming back with season 3 this fall, bro. You putting your daughter on?
Yeah, we got to get that off, man. She hasn't watched season 2 yet, though. She kind of fell out that pocket. We just went to Disney, and
how was that?
It was dope. And she but she's at that stage where she just wants to see Minnie and Mickey and Chip and Dale, you know, like she don't really rock with the she's not at the point, like she started off with I like the lightsabers and likes to do lightsaber fights, but I got to get her deeper in the lore. We're going to get her here though.
You got to give her like a year or two,
yeah,
bro. Let her
yeah. By then it'll be on season 4 probably by that. I know the kids love the show. They keep putting out seasons.
Right, bro.
And then they take the show and they cut those shows down into shorts. And then they put those into little shorts.
Right.
And so for the kids that only have like a 2 minutes, mental span, they're able to watch a little bite of a lesson from a Jedi experience but they all die though. So it doesn't really matter to me. I watch it. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Bro, relax.
Sorry. Shout out to Yoda.
All right. Now, the one thing you said that you knew when we started this episode, Lucasfilm Animation has been working on a new show that takes place during the Clone War, end of Clone War, beginning of the Republic or Empire era. Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord. People are tired of the prequel era. Look, give us something new. But Maul is a character that has so much in his bag that I think it's possible to get new and old and make it work. And Maul, with Sam Witwer being someone that, when Dave Filoni was writing Clone Wars, had to step in and tell Dave, you're wrong about this. Or when Maul appears in Solo, and he's like, which lightsaber does he have? Oh, the one from this movie. That's not right. He lost that saber. It either needs to be this. To have him at the helm with Star Wars animation, getting his own show to explore after the Clone Wars, where we see him disappear. Oh, where's Maul going to go? And we know where he's at Rebels. I'm excited to see Maul plotting to rebuild his criminal syndicate untouched on a planet untouched by the Empire. I'm excited. And that can let us explore more of the unfinished ties from Solo, some things from Rebels. Maybe Maul, we can see him get a little scrappy with Vader. Maybe.
Yeah. Come on,
I'm excited, bro. 2026.
Listen, man, there's you could say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. You can say you love General Grievous. You can say you love the Emperor. You can say all these. The most nuanced, the most fleshed out, the most gripping Sith that there is in the canon, in my opinion, is Maul. So when people are like, why does he keep popping up in this?
Even over Vader, bro?
Yeah. Because for me, like, look at what they're doing. We got Vader, but we going back to Anakin. Like, at the end of the day, like, Vader as an entity, capitalizes on pain, capitalizes on fear. But the reality is, like, he is the next in a lineage of people who have done such a thing. And the reality is that Maul is like, he's one of them. He's one of them. Like if you've seen season 2 of Rebels, like this isn't even a conversation. Like you just watch Rebels. You've seen that fight with him and Obi. Yo, listen, all I'm saying is Maul's one of them ones. And I feel like because the prequels don't shed light and then they brought him back on a whim and now he's been stretched out to become such a crazy character. Like that's just the coolness of creativity and being able to exist in a universe like this as well. He's literally a symbol. So I rock with him OD. I'm excited about the animation style too. I'm jealous that I wasn't at the sizzle. I wish I could have seen that in the room. I feel like that's fire.
Right. It did sound kind of crazy, bro.
Sounds fire.
And Sam Witwer again, he's been around for the longest at this point. He's just goated. Star Wars Outlaws is getting its second story update, A Pirate's Fortune, in May.
All right, so let me talk to you a little bit about this, okay? Because the first DLC was fire. It was fuego. It was like if you watched an episode of an animated like Clone Wars episode, but in the video game. Like I feel like, yo, bro, what was insane about it, John, was like the Lando Calrissian involvement, the fact that you get to gain a game-breaking ability from this DLC, that is kind of like meta in its nature, because it's like they're not taking themselves too seriously while also really being devoted to telling a story that's accurate to the universe. That's what makes me excited about the pirate side. Not the fact that it's connected to the Rebels character, not the fact that it's connecting itself to other things and we might see some more characters. It's the fact that I want to see Kat navigate.
It's K, by the way. It's K.
That's what it is, K. I want to see K navigate more within this world that they've created, which is similar to the Tales of the Underworld in some sense, because you're getting a very like boot to ground perspective minus the lightsabers. That's what makes
sure, bro, sure. But Hondo Naka's in this DLC.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro. And that's what I'm also excited for, because I'm putting it on record now. I've said it to some friends. The day that a live action Star Wars project puts Hondo Naka in it, I will not talk shit about that project. I probably will critique it and all that. But it's still going to be one of my favorites just because they did it.
Yeah, Hondo cool and all. Like, me personally, by the time that you see him the last time in that show, I'm kind of sick of him, me personally. But I'm still excited to see him in this. And again, it's like, it's the idea of being on his crew to go do the heist. And like, nah, I feel like I'm Ezra. This is kind of sick, but I'm not Ezra because I don't have any force abilities.
Bro, even in the Clone Wars, bro, the shit he was getting up to there with Obi-Wan and all that, which is why in Rebels, when he's like, one of my best friends was a Jedi. And it's like, every time you and Obi-Wan interacted, you were shooting at him by the end of your scrimmage. But you're just like that, bro. We like characters like that in this universe, which is, like I said, bro, I'm excited. I'll take more Hondo anytime I can, bro.
So
my poster guy, bro, he's doing Hondo. He just dropped a Hondo poster today, bro.
So you're going to play it?
Of course.
Did you even play the first one?
No, I didn't play the first one because I'm still playing through the campaign, and Assassin's Creed Shadow drop, bro, and all that. So I could still be excited, bro.
I haven't beat half the campaign. I probably am around 50% of the campaign, but I stopped to play that DLC soon.
I can't do that, bro. I can't do that, bro.
It really does break the game, and then like the back end of the game, you have this ability when you play in the card game. So that's also what makes me excited about the game too. Is like I wonder what they'll introduce mechanics wise, because they've been using the DLC to introduce new mechanics. Which is what good DLC does, in my opinion. But anyways,
all right.
Let's go. What else is there?
Well, I just want to shout out, even though the time has come to an end. Revenge of the Sith was in theaters for a week last week to celebrate its 20th anniversary. I saw that joint twice. I went with a group of friends. The first day it dropped, that's where I got my little cup. My microphone fell into this cup for the first. I went to sit and use it as we started recording about 2 hours ago. First time using this. I put it down on my desk and then my microphone fell into the damn cup. So I hope I sound okay. But this is what this cup is, bro. Now it has 2 pieces of historical moments for me.
I'm dead.
3. And the Vader popcorn bucket was a lot of money, bro.
My boy copped that joint.
It was money, bro. I don't have money like that right now.
He went to go. My boy Tom, shout out to Tom. He went to go cop that joint, and the lady forgot to scan it, so he just took it.
Nah.
He just got it for free. And
nice.
I was like, that's how you do it, baby. You get this money.
That's what's up. You just incriminated him on record.
Who cares? That's the lady's fault. She said, here you go. He paid for the popcorn in the bucket. He paid for everything else.
Hey,
he just gave him the bucket.
That's cool. Crazy how you'll notice some things that on the big screen, you'll notice things. I've seen this movie 10 plus times and I'm seeing things for the first time on the big screen.
They're not joking when they do those ads like movies shouldn't be seen it this small. You
seriously.
Need to see them. They're not joking about that.
Right. But to see it on the big screen is awesome as a grown adult. I love that movie. It's crazy how visually, I know sometimes it looks wonky, but there are visuals in that movie that hold up to some others this day.
Yeah.
And we need more Ewan and Hayden back on our screen. Sorry.
Need it.
I don't make the rules. I'm just saying. And then watching it alone last night, when this recording, that would have been April 30th. Watching it alone, no friends, went to the theater after work, and just to take it all in without looking at my friends every time a meme line comes up or, this is about to be lit. Crazy experience. I love it. I love that movie.
True Star Wars fan. This is Arrow's a true Star Wars fan.
I knew I would be mad at myself if I let it leave theaters without catching it again.
That's how I felt about Sinners. I understand.
So, yeah, in terms of Star Wars Celebration, I think that's all that news for the most part. The next Star Wars Celebration is going to be in 2027, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, and that's going to be happening in America, over in Los Angeles, I believe, or in California. I need to make it out, bro, because that's the 50th anniversary. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
You'll figure it out.
But I have time because they're skipping 2 years. They also confirmed that their other movies are still in development. Rey's movie, James Mangold's movie. I learned that someone who wrote one of the best Andor arcs, or the best Andor arc in my opinion so far, as I've seen 6 arcs from Andor, because they do it in arcs. Apparently he's writing one of those movies, so now I'm even more locked in. Now I'm like, okay, they about to cook. So I probably missed stuff because it's a whole weekend, but those are the big ones, unless you care about like Star Wars Monopoly and things like that, which I fuck with Monopoly.
Lego sets. I did some Lego sets.
Yeah, Hot Toys. If you, I don't know what Hot Toys are, I have a few of them that you could probably see in the background when it's not dark as hell in my room and all that. But yeah, I love Star Wars. Now, talking very quickly about the future of Star Wars, I'm still in love with this universe. The fandom pisses me off sometimes. What y'all did with the Acolyte and some of those cast members is unacceptable. What y'all did with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and some of those cast members is unacceptable. And even Andor right now, y'all are being funky with it. And I fear that that's going to be the same thing for the future of this franchise. And I don't like it. But in terms of what I'm hearing, it sounds like we're getting a nice wide variety in the gaming department, television show department, movie department. And so I'm excited. And I'm hopeful that I'm going to enjoy it at least, because that's all I really give a fuck about. And when we come and sit and we talk, I'm excited to get our differences, our opinions off. And at the end of the day, talk about this universe that means so much to me and has come to mean so much to you. It's really fun.
Facts.
It's really fun.
Facts. I'm about to go cop Mace Windu from the Fortnite shop. You already knew what this is. I need that. I need to make sure I already got my stuff in Brawlhalla. Yeah, it came back. What about that? I just got to show my support. I know it's a corporation. It's really just Disney, but there's a collective of creatives that are pushing forward ideas that are brand new. Yo, I'm going to say it to you one more time in case you missed it. Star Wars universe is the universe that your favorite universe thinks it is. I promise you. I promise you.
Is that a dig at Marvel?
That's a dig at them all, at all of them. You know, even if Gunn does it right this summer, even if Marvel gets it together tonight when I go see the Thunderbolts as of tonight, this is the 30th. No, it's the 1st. This is May 1st, actually. It doesn't really matter. Star Wars is goated forever. I mean, the fact that you just said Hondo has been in Clone Wars, Rebels, and is making his way to a video game, and it's with ease. It's not cheesy. It's not tokenized. That's what it's about, bro. It's about great storytelling, great world building. That's what I'm about. I love stuff like that, and I'm excited to participate and consume all of this media because it's good for the soul. You feel me?
Yeah.
But we'll be back this month. I swear on my life, I will watch Andor season 1. I'll catch up for Andor season 2. We will hit you by the end of the month with an Andor episode.
Okay.
And
Tales of the Underworld.
And we'll hit you with a little, probably a pulse on some Underworld, because we could touch it slightly.
Sure.
Slightly at least.
Sure.
But we do have tons of Star Wars content for you to go back and listen to. If you're on YouTube and you go and you click our playlist under our channel, you can find the Star Wars section. And in there is everything we've ever touched, from thoughts on the whole entire, all 3 arcs, loose, spinoffs, Mando, Ahsoka,
Rebels.
even the ones that suck are in there. You feel me? And you should definitely check out our Tales of the Empire episode. We had a lot of good stuff to say on that one. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that one was really fun. And so, question of the episode: what are you most excited for from the future of Star Wars? Let us know. For me, I think I'm at the place where I can just say Maul, the Maul animated show. I think that's what I'm most excited for.
That's real. That's hard, bro. There's a lot of good news. I think today I'm gonna give it to Starfighter. I mean, as much as I don't like Sean, I like the fact that it's set where it is, because that's the one thing that is a little bit different than a lot of the other stuff we're talking about. It's recapping things in areas we've gotten content from. I like the uncharted territory touch. That's always exciting. So I hope they stick the landing, and big Star Wars energy. You already know that.
Yes, sir.
You already know that.
Yes, sir. I'm surprised you ain't say Taika, bro, because he's making something too, bro.
Yeah, Taika gonna be cool.
Well, alrighty. So yeah,
Pedro Pascal's making mad money right now. Like his money is not funny at all. He's making insane bread in this last like 5 years, bro. Like between Joel and Last of Us, Mando bag since the first season, he's freaking Mr. Fantastic, and then he's coming for a film. This dude is he's on like Robert Downey Jr. timing right now. Like that's crazy, bro.
So we celebrating Pedro Pascal as well this May. We're celebrating Star Wars. We love everything that goes on in the universe. And even if we don't love it, we can see that it's growing the universe out in a way that makes it a little bit more interesting. And we understand that it might not all be for us, but it serves the universe well. And we want more. So share your thoughts down below wherever you are listening. If it's on Spotify, answer the polls. If you're on YouTube, leave us a answer to the question or even just your thoughts on whatever you heard. If we missed anything, let us know. And Isaiah, I'll let you take care of the rest because this is your job, not mine.
It is my job, and your job is to make sure you stay tuned in with us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, wherever you consume your podcast. If you've got people who love Star Wars, send this episode over to them. It's the perfect time to. Why not? Right? We're in the month of May. Let's share that love. And know this, every time you tap in with us here at CUZZO-OP, you are always going to find 3 things. That's 2 cousins, 1 podcast, endless entertainment. May the 4th be with you. Peace.